Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I want to share with you a fantastic game played by Polish chess grandmaster Jan-Krzysztof Duda against Russian chess grandmaster Alexander Grischuk. The game was played in round 3 at 2019 Paris Grand Chess Tour. I have to tell you that this game is extremely complicated, but as usual I will try to keep it as simple as possible without delving too deep into the endless variations. In this game Duda was playing with white pieces and he opened up with knight f3. Grischuk responded with d5, c4, we have the Reti opening, d4 advanced variation, b4 f6, a line which is nowadays very trendy at the highest level. c5 can't respond to something like reversed Benko gambit, but in our game we have f6. Black wants to establish a massive center by going for e5, e3, e5. Already the pawn on b4 is under attack, that's why we have c5, and this time Grischuk challenged white's pawn structure on the queen side by going for a5, queen a4 check, queen d7, bishop b5 c6, bishop c4, knight a6, he takes d4, e4, and b5, white counter-attacked black knight, knight b4. Already we have a very messed up position where the players have to be very accurate in their decisions. a3, this time white is counter-attacking black knight with a3, he takes f3, a takes b4, queen takes d4, d3, queen e5 check, and after bishop e3 we have f takes g2. So what do we have? Suddenly this pawn appeared on the second rank, and all this looks very scary, guys, but still white has a total control of the position. Rook g1, knight e7. I have to tell you that despite the fact that queen takes h2 looks tempting, but that's a mistake. This position was also seen in 2014 in a game played between Hilarp Persson and Johnny Hector, where the latter proceeded with queen takes h2, to which Hilarp Persson responded with b takes c6, sacrificed the rook, and in a very brilliant way managed to beat his opponent. These moves are taken from that game, and probably we should also cover this game as well. A very beautiful position, right? But in our game after rook g1 we have knight e7, knight d2. At any moment queen takes h2 can be met with knight f3, bishop d7. Black is strengthening the pawn on c6, b takes a5, knight d5, d4, and finally we have it, queen takes h2, to which white responded with knight f3, neutralizing all the possible threats. Queen h5, a6, look at this, guys, in return to black's g-pawn. Now white will also create his monsters on the queen side. Right now accepting the piece sacrifice can be extremely dangerous because of this a takes b7 move, and white is winning. If rook b8 then b takes c6, or after a6 if move like b takes a6 then b takes c6, and again this is going to be a very terrible position for black. That's why in our game we have bishop e7. Grischuk wants to castle kingside and connect his rooks as soon as possible. Meanwhile white keeps on attacking on the queen side, and we have a takes b7, an absolutely staggering move with which Duda is sacrificing his queen. Rook takes a4, rook takes a4. By the way, I have to tell you that going for b8 queen is not a good idea, because black has this king f7 move, and if queen takes h8 then rook a1 check is coming, and in this case it's black who is winning. That's why in our game white recaptured the rook on a4. Finally black castled kingside and rook a8. Rook e8, I have to tell you that already at this point Grischuk was in a serious time trouble, and this rook e8 is a mistake. Instead it was better to play c takes b5. If rook takes f8 check then bishop takes f8, and if bishop b3 then queen takes f3, and in the end of the day the players have equal chances. But in our game after rook a8 we have this rook e8 move which turns out to be a mistake, and now with an accurate piece play Duda will gain an advantage. To rook e8 Duda responded with king d2, a fantastic move which solves several problems at the same time. In some cases placing the king on d2 can be very useful, because in that case already white had moved away his king from the e file, and this bishop can freely move, and also if needed white can connect his rooks by playing rook a1. I have to tell you that instead of playing king d2, if you capture on g2, then this is losing because black has this bishop d8 move, and if you go for a pawn promotion, then bishop a5 check is coming and it's black who is winning. Let's go back. In our game after rook e8 we have king d8, king f8. Well, if we move like bishop d8, then white can always neutralize this bishop by going for b6. That's why Grischuk played king f8, unpinned the knight, but now comes rook takes e8 check, queen takes e8, and bishop takes d5, bishop d8, and after this bishop f4 move, bishop a5 check, king d1, we have a resignation. Now, can you understand how important it was to move away the king from the e file? Already this bishop is free. White is playing bishop f4 in order to support the advance of the b pawn, and we have it a resignation, because in the end of the day, once white queen appears on the board, white is simply a rook up with a totally winning position. That's why after the simple king d1 move we have a resignation. A very, very impressive game played by Jan-Krzysztof Duda. I have to repeat again that the game was extremely complicated. The players spent a lot of time on calculating and trying to find the most accurate moves, but in the jungle of endless variations, it was the young Polish chess grandmaster who managed to find the right path and won the game. In the end, let's also solve a chess puzzle where the task is to find the winning line for white. It's white to move, and I will wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching. In the end, you can also check out these suggestions. I will see you in my next video. Take care.